Hello guys, welcome back to Zach Animate Studios. The previous video we were creating we had created a Laravel project whereby this was a shop whereby our client can sell his product on the shop. Basically he can stock take all her products on the shop, but we wanted to take this project a notch higher, whereby we wanted to create a mobile application for it, and our goal today was just to get products we get all the products for this client on an app, whereby our choice of app framework was Ionic framework. So Ionic framework is our choice of whereby we want to use Angular to connect to it's going to be our mobile application, and this application is going to be hosted somewhere. This is going to be called a client application, and then our Laravel application is going to be our home application, that is our office application, and our Ionic application is going to be our product, that is our product app, that is going to be our app that somebody can use it from wherever he is. He can install this on a server somewhere or on a Play Store, and somebody can download this app and use his shop. So basically it's going to be a shop. And what we had talked about earlier on was API. API is the one that is used to connect an application and an app. That is an application, that is the app. Let me call it the app because you will understand much better. The app on your phone, and then the API is an endpoint. So API, we have the endpoint of APIs that are going to connect to those applications, and then it's going to collect data that is going to be portrayed on the app. So without further ado, I had already created this application on our system, and we had created our first API. Okay, so our first API, I have come to realize that there are very different types of data that are being passed on the API, because you can see the first type of data. This type of data is a JSON response of data, but it is not an object. While the second type of data that this is passed through, it's an object. This is an object. When it is passed through the API, it is an object, and you're going to have some errors when you write your code like this, the way I have just highlighted. If you write your code like that, you're going to have problems because it is an object, and you will get an error of diff error. So, and this other type of this type of index calling data, this is just for Laravel views, that is the views, the Laravel views, where you compact data to product on a view. But this one now, it is now the right way to pull data, and we had used the API, whereby we had to configure it on the API control P for API root, where this is how you're going to write your API endpoint, so that it can be accessed on this link API. Okay, and then after that you are going to install Ionic framework, whereby you are going to type Ionic G, Ionic start to create Ionic platform for you. And then you can select Angular for Angular guys, you can select React. Let me just display with the code to create an Ionic application. Ionic start, and then you give the project name on the location of your PC. Okay, that is Ionic start, right? And then you're going to generate let it open up. I'm going to have like two. I'm going to split that screen into two. So Ionic start. Ionic start to generate an Ionic project, and then you're going to generate you're going to generate two items. One, a service, a global service, which is Ionic G, Ionic G, where you're going to generate a service. When you just hit an Ionic G, you're going to have different types of information that you can generate. You can generate, as you can see on the screen, you can generate a page, you can generate a service, you can generate a class, you can generate a guard, all that. You can generate a module, you can generate a directive, all this. An enum, you can generate. These are the types of generation that you can generate with Ionic framework. So these are the components, but we will be interested with a service and a page. So a service is going to be responsible for accessing data from the endpoint of our system. This is Ionic service. So what you're going to do, you're going to create you're going to create a constant for that URL, and then you're going to inject some HTTP client first. These are the first things. You're going to inject HTTP client mode, HTTP client, but the first and foremost thing on the app module, you're going to inject HTTP module. HTTP module is for supporting XF, automatic import of that is those URLs from client side. That means the URL from your client side. So you inject that one first inside the app module, and then on the second part, now then you're going to on your global service, you're going to inject HTTP client, and then with that you're going to create a method of accessing data. So first you're going to create get product data functions, create data function of an observable, which is any, that is it's going to accept any data from that side, and then you're also going to map it with error handling. So with this product, with this code, I'm going just to give you a copy of it. I'm going to share it, this project with you guys on my GitHub, and you're going to access this information for free. So guys, you can do this, and then so basically I'm just explaining, get products, and then you're going to map that URL, and then you're going to map to extract data, and then any error handling of that data is going to be taken care of from that side. So that is private error handling, is going to access error response of instance. If there is an error, it's going to give you an error for that, and then that you're going to inject. After that, you're going to inject that to a product module. So basically the global service you're going to inject on a global on that product page, on product page.ts, whereby you're going to inject private service, so that in it you can create another function for fetch data. At this point you can do a lot of things. There's something called the sweetener. Okay, there's a lot of functions on Angular, whereby let me just open this page. When you go to services on product, I don't know if it is going to reload, but there's that function that you can see that a page is reloading, a page is reloading, a page is reloading. Right now we have just passed that data on the screen, but if we want to do some error, we want to do some page loading, we can do that. Let's go to that job page. Let me just see. So we are going to create a constant of loading page, that is loading controller. So we are going to create that one there, and then we are going to preset, and then just like that. I'm just going to copy that. I'm just going to add it on that page, on that controller of the controller for getting data. So basically getting fetching data. So I'm just going to inject this one here, constant loading await. So basically await loading controller. So let me just constant loading. Okay, let's see first. Just a minute. Async. So I need to add. I can just add an async function here. Sorry. I can just add an async function here. Async. So async function, so that it's going to do await. So this loading controller create that. So with that, it's going to have loading, and then loading preset, just like that. When I reload my page, let's do some reload. I think it's going to reload. Give it a second. Let's just reload. You'll see that now the page is going to be reloading. Just before this information is passed, this information, you'll see this page is going to reload. Just a minute. That magic comes. So before the page starts, you'll see something reloading. Yeah, this function, you can see you can add a lot of functions on this before that information is passed across. So I'm going to share all this information, so you can see that we have the data, we have the Pembe. You can see that this information is just from the database, from the other application. So we have the Pembe, the maize, the cabras, the cocoa. And if you can go back to your page, you can see also from your API, these are the product names of those products. And also if you go back here, product name is Pembe, Cabras, and Coca-Cola. So we can also just add another product code inside product code inside the HTML. So how it is being bind, it's almost just the same. ng for binding products and products, just like that. And then the difference of Control C, I'm just going to add that, and then you can just still add Control C, Control V, product code. So with that, you can see it's an easy way for you to create a mobile application using both Ionic framework and Laravel for your product. So guys, remember to subscribe from this amazing YouTube channel, guys. This has been a wonderful project that we are doing, and I'm looking at it because there's a lot to learn. As you can see that with with Angular, you can always be sure to know, you can always know if your project is working or not, because you can display the errors on the screen. You can see where the data is being from which type of page. That is, you can see like data from product page. You can add some you can do the error checking, because basically there's a lot of error checking from using Angular. Using Angular or using React, you can always follow data, whereby you can just console log where is this information, what does this information means. So like let's just say that I want to console log what it means, that this URL or what this information means. So get that promise, like all those functions, you can always like follow and catch the error as from where you just want that information to be. So I know it was the first time and it was quite bombard in terms of information to you, but we are going to do it step by step. We are going to set up, like in the next video, how to set up Ionic framework, and then we are going to go about all the functions, all the pages of Ionic things with Laravel. So basically, information from the other application is only the API information that holds information. We can also still do the CRUD information with our application. So guys, this was just a simple way to pass data from our Ionic that is from Laravel platform into Ionic framework. So basically this is more of a client application to that is from a main system application now to a client application. So these are the terms that are being used, and this is how you can continue creating this application. In the next video, we are going to ensure that we bring all these. We can do CRUD with the Laravel. That means when you do CRUD, you create a CRUD functions from your API. That is, you're going to have a CRUD function for your API. That is create, read, update, delete, and that functions is going to be consumed by the app. Now from your app side, you're going to create now CRUD functions also on your global.ts to accept information from the other side of the application. Guys, this has been amazing, and thank you for subscribing to this amazing channel, and just be part of us and subscribe to this amazing channel. I'll share this information on the links below, and you can download and also try it on your own. So guys, subscribe, and I'm going also to give you an outline of how you can set up a Laravel application alongside an Ionic application, so that you can pull data from Laravel application to Ionic application. This is what hackers fear. They fear APIs, and if you want to be a great hacker, or if you want to be a great developer, you always have to find a way to overcome or do much greater functions, better codes. So guys, it is a clean code, but they have a clean code, and you can always support us, like us, subscribe to this amazing channel, and cheers.